This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. It was our 3rd year together. When Hailey went abroad, she came from a good family, fair-skinned and beautiful, while I was ordinary looking, someone you wouldn't notice in a crowd. Despite the difficulties of a long-distance relationship, we continued as before, chatting about our lives daily on the phone, finding a little novelty in one boring, flat topic after another. On our 5th anniversary, I used the money I had saved for a long time to go see her. Downstairs from the villa, I waited for a long time, but I saw her nestled in another man's arms, her smile radiant. The moment she saw me, Hailey's bright smile vanished, immediately replaced by an icy glare. Who told you to come? This is so far from home. What if something happened? What would I do? Why didn't you tell me? Despite her frown, Hailey still broke free from the man's embrace and lightly stood on her tiptoes to touch my face. The temperature difference here and at home is huge, and you're wearing so little. I sniffled, my nose a little red, my voice a bit hoarse. I called, but no one answered. Then I sent you a text. Hailey's eyes flickered, a little confused. I was busy just now. I didn't check my phone. The man, who had been silent until now, suddenly laughed heartily and walked over with big strides. Sister May, I'm really sorry. You were busy just now. I thought it was a spam call, so I hung up. My bad. As her boyfriend, I didn't even have the right to be saved in her contacts. Hailey nodded gently, without any hint of blame, and looked at the man, pointing at me casually. This is my boyfriend, Rocky. Tony smiled slightly and extended his hand to me. Hello, my name is Tony. Nice to meet you. Tony looked very handsome, with a sunny smile on his face, making it impossible to dislike him. In contrast, my clothes were ordinary, and the long journey had left my face etched with fatigue. At that moment, the two of them standing together looked more like a couple than us. Hailey gave Tony a playful glare, a teasing, angry curve on her lips, and kicked him lightly. Don't blame him. That's just how he is. Always so self-righteous. But he's really nice. He takes good care of me usually. Tony didn't dodge or flinch. His familiarity seemed especially natural. How would I dare bully you? It's always you bullying me. Throughout the journey, the two of them chatted and laughed, while I felt like an outsider, a bit out of place. It wasn't until we walked into the villa together that I realized. You're living together? Hailey nodded gently, speaking carelessly. It's a bit lonely living by myself on weekdays, and since the place is so big, it's idle anyway, so I just had him come keep me company. Tony suddenly patted Hailey's shoulder lightly and joked with a smile. Are you sure you're not just scared to live alone? Hailey immediately punched him back. You don't exactly make me feel much safer. Men are all useless. I didn't respond, my gaze surveying the surroundings. The house was large. The carefully arranged furniture looked quite cozy. Some places were very familiar. They were the backgrounds behind her during our video calls. Tony took off his jacket and went into the bathroom, while Hailey led me to the room I would be staying in. Actually, you didn't have to come. Hailey leaned against the door, her voice emotionless. If anything dangerous happened, it wouldn't be worth it. Indeed, it wasn't worth it. I shouldn't have come. I didn't ask who Tony was, nor did I ask why she was in Tony's arms. Expectation, nervousness, excitement, everything gradually dissipated during the long wait, finally turning into nothing. I had painstakingly saved money for a year, imagining that seeing her would be worth any sacrifice. At this moment, everything seemed like a joke. The bathroom light suddenly went out, and after a faint rustling, a delicate fragrance wafted over. Through the moonlight outside the window, I could vaguely see the desire in Hailey's eyes beneath her captivating face. Before I set off, I had also looked forward to life after seeing her, even meticulously planning and dreaming about it. But at this moment, I had only one thought: to escape from here. Let's sleep. I'm a little tired. I turned my head away, my voice hoarse. Hailey's expression froze, and she suddenly leaned down, burying her head deep into my arm. Are you angry? I've been overwhelmed with work lately, and I've neglected you a bit. She pushed my arm back and forth vigorously, her voice quite playful. Seeing that I still didn't respond, Hailey sighed softly, lifted the covers, and crawled into my arms. After 2 years, feeling that warm sensation in my arms again, it no longer had the familiar feeling it once did. In the darkness, the phone suddenly rang. I thought it was my phone, and instinctively picked it up, but it felt wrong. It was Hailey's phone, and the ringtone was still the one we chose when we got together. On the lit screen, the words Tony, Big Bad Guy appeared. The next second, the phone was snatched by Hailey. Didn't I tell you not to touch my things casually? Hailey spoke coldly, quickly got up, and went to the sofa. You sleep first. I have something urgent to handle. I saw the uncontrollable smile on her face the moment she turned around. My boyfriend is going to sleep. Be quiet. Don't call me for no reason. In my gaze, Hailey's fingers danced on the screen. Sometimes she pursed her lips and smiled. Sometimes she swung her legs. For the next half hour, her gaze remained on the screen, breathe, a happy smile on her lips. Perhaps the urgent matter she mentioned was replying to Tony's messages. I turned over, making a slight sound. Hailey then looked up, a hint of apology on her face. You know, I've been very busy lately, and some things are not handled very clearly. Thankfully, Tony helped me. Otherwise, I really don't know what I would have done. When she mentioned Tony, her eyes sparkled with a crystal clear glow. Let me tell you, I've never seen a boy so excellent. He learns everything instantly. It's as if there's nothing in the world that can stump him. You seem to know him very well. At these words, Hailey's face turned cold. Are you not done yet? How much longer do you think I'll tolerate you? Did you come here just to annoy me? Even though Hailey's academic performance was mediocre, she was exceptionally beautiful, with large eyes, a curvy figure, and fair skin. As soon as she enrolled, she was crowned the campus queen. Her personality was even more sunny and cheerful, making everyone adore her. But she had an indifferent attitude towards everything, so much so that a saying circulated throughout the large campus. Hailey's family has a lot of influence. She's just here to play. I was also talked about by many because of my good grades. However, my father was an alcoholic, and my mother loved to gamble, so I was beaten and scolded from a young age, which led to my disinclination to interact with people. What's the use of good grades? No friends, a reclusive and gloomy personality, spending every day enduring others' insults and bullying. I became increasingly sensitive and could only study desperately, using studying to numb myself. And Hailey's appearance tore apart my dark space, becoming the only color in my desolate world. When the school bully threw a punch at me, she would appear in time, smilingly pull the bully away, allowing me to breathe. She would walk home with me, chattering away about her day, even if I didn't say a single word. When conflicts erupted at home again, she would silently stay with me. Slowly, influenced by her, I also began to cheer up and actively move towards my light. As time went on, more and more people began to wonder about our relationship. After all, a campus queen and an ugly guy. Everyone would wonder if I had threatened her or something. I, too, asked her out of insecurity and curiosity why she was so good to me. She said, "Because you're my good friend." Her bright smile was warmer than the sun. The rumors became increasingly outrageous, but she never paid attention to them, nor did she care about others' opinions and criticisms. She openly walked to and from school with me every day, ate with me, and studied with me. I suppressed my strong feelings for her until high school. That day, I tried my best to dress up, attempting to look a little better than usual. I mustered up the courage to ask her to meet me in the small grove and confessed my feelings, but I was rejected. I chuckled self-mockingly and prepared to turn and leave. "Rocky, you're very good. I'm nothing but pretty, and my cheerfulness is fake. I'm afraid I'm not worthy of someone with such good grades as you, but I don't want to miss out on you. Are you still willing?" After Hailey finished speaking, I recovered from the immense joy, only to find that my face was already wet with tears. Holding her in my arms, it felt like I had the whole world. "Hailey, don't worry. I will love you forever." "Me too." "Rocky." After the news of us being together spread, many people couldn't understand the beauty and the beast pairing. They said I must have threatened Hailey, that Hailey was blind, that I was a toad who tricked a white swan. But we, young as we were, didn't care about anything. Ignoring all their targeting, we would stick together every day, encouraging each other. She knew about my family and tried every trick to cheer me up every day. She told me that I should be cheerful and be a little son just like her. I held her hand, secretly vowing in my heart that I must work hard to give her a very, very good life. And so, amidst everyone's incomprehension and targeting, we walked hand in hand through the most difficult, yet happiest 3 years. There are several turning points in life, and the college entrance examination is one of them. Her indifferent habits led to her failure in the college entrance examination. Her family arranged for her to study abroad. As for me, because of my strong foundation, I eventually entered one of the top universities in the country. The day I sent her off abroad, my eyes were full of reluctance. Her eyes were teary. Her usually smiling eyes were now red and swollen. "Baby, you must video call me every day and tell me lots and lots of things. When I come back, will you marry me?" "Yes, I will definitely wait for you to come back, to put my mind at ease." She took me to meet her family. In front of her family, we made a lifelong promise to each other. All obstacles disappeared. I thought we could truly be together forever, desperately working part-time jobs just to spend more time with her. But I underestimated human nature, underestimated time, underestimated change. As Hailey closed her phone screen, the sound of something being smashed came from the adjacent room. The moment the sound occurred, Hailey, like a spring, had already opened the door. "It's so late. Where are you going?" "Something seems to be happening with Tony. I'm worried." As soon as she finished speaking, she had already left. If she had listened carefully, she would have heard the tremor in my steady voice. If she had turned to look, she would have noticed the redness in the corners of my eyes. Watching her resolute back, it was as if she was protecting me back then. Perhaps I was too sad and ended up laughing out loud. Tony hadn't even called out, yet she rushed over. So, my only son was also someone else's son? Lying in bed, I quietly reminisced about the past few years. 3 hours passed, and she still hadn't returned. Getting up to go look for her, I accidentally bumped into her phone, which she had forgotten to take. As the screen lit up, my heart sank to the bottom of the sea. The wallpaper was an intimate photo of my girlfriend Hailey and Tony, the beautiful girl and handsome guy looking extremely pleasing to the eye. Hailey was smiling very happily, and the background was the same amusement park where she and I had our first official date. I was too familiar with the background, and coincidentally recalled Hailey's Instagram post from a while ago. The caption was, "With you." The photo was normal. I thought she meant me. I even commented below, "Wait for me, baby." Hailey loved amusement parks the most, and she had also promised me that she wouldn't casually go to our happy places with other men. It turned out she had already broken her promise. Out of a sixth sense, I eagerly and uneasily wanted to open her phone. Fortunately, Hailey's password was her birthday. I opened her photo album, and those intimate photos, one after another, starkly stung my heart. There were photos of them eating together, playing around, and having fun. In a trance, I clicked on chat again. The top chat, which was originally me, had prominently become Tony. I was like a crawling in the dark, peering into their chat history. My girlfriend Hailey and Tony's long video calls, Tony's longing late at night, and even our relationship. It turned out that every time she was tired, under academic pressure, or annoyed by life, they were all excuses for her enjoyable chats with Tony. I, still naive, would understand her and give her ample personal time. It truly exemplified that saying, if the sun isn't shining on you, it must be warming someone else. As if possessed, I clicked on her profile picture again. Many new posts appeared on Instagram that I had never seen before. There was the warmth of her and Tony cooking together, and her charming intoxication from drinking late at night. Unknowingly, I scrolled to the post "with you." My comment, "Wait for me, baby," had long since been deleted. I don't know when. It was replaced by a comment, "When are you breaking up with that ugly guy? My brother Lon is still waiting for you. Sister May." No reply, no deletion, only Hailey's silent agreement. I weakly closed the phone, all the strength drained from my body at that moment. So all my efforts to come here were just to be a ridiculous clown? When I came to, it was already 7 in the morning. The half-closed door was pushed open, messy hair, and tidy clothes. "Rocky, I'm so sorry. Tony has sleepwalking. I was worried about him, so I went out to check on him for a while," Hailey said with a face full of apologies. "Why did it take so long?" I said faintly. "See, I hadn't even said anything." Hailey yelled like an angry kitten. "Well, I definitely had to wait until Tony was fast asleep before I could safely come back, right?" Seeing my silence, her face was full of impatience. "Tony is a really good person. I'm in a foreign country. He's always the one helping me. Rocky, can't you be less petty? I hope you two can become good friends." Actually, some things had already happened, so there was no need to argue further. With my back to Hailey, "I'm tired. I'll sleep a bit more." After a day of traveling, all emotions had long since disappeared. I vaguely slept until 1 in the afternoon. Hailey said she had time in the afternoon to show me around. In a trance, I seemed to see Hailey from before she went abroad, excitedly telling me how much fun Britain was, and that she would definitely take me there when I visited. Sweet moments. Looking at her happy face, I still couldn't bear to tell her that I had already booked my return flight. Okay, we picked a few very representative attractions, and those attractions were all places where she and Tony had intimate photos together. Look at that big statue. Tony bumped his head on it. This long bench. Tony and I once talked all night here. This is Tony's favorite building. Even when she was with me, every word revolved around Tony. When we passed a men's clothing store, Hailey walked in. "See if there are any clothes you like. Buy a few to take back." But she seemed to have forgotten that she had said not entering men's clothing stores was her bottom line. Now, she had truly changed. The answer was already in my heart, but I still asked unwillingly, "Didn't you say you wouldn't go into men's clothing stores?" Hailey's face showed an indifferent attitude. "Oh, it's all Tony's fault. I accompanied him to buy a few clothes before, and then slowly I got used to it. I had suggested before that she accompany me, but knowing she didn't like it, I respected her wishes. But now, I don't need to buy clothes." Hailey seemed not to hear me, and casually took a photo of a piece of men's clothing. She lowered her head, smiling as she fiddled with her phone, which she hadn't let go of the whole way. "Sales, ring up this one." I raised my voice, and repeated. I said, "I don't need to buy clothes. If you don't buy, then don't. Why are you so loud?" Hailey's tone was full of disdain. "Then this one." "Oh, it's for Tony. He also needs some clothes. So I bought it for him incidentally." Everything was clear. I tugged at the corner of my mouth. "Let's go then." Seeing my attitude, Hailey's face panicked. "I'm mainly here to accompany you today. This shirt was really just bought for him coincidentally. Look, is there anything you like? I'll get it for you." Following her words, I raised my finger and pointed to the shopping bag in Hailey's hand. "I just want the one in your hand." Hailey looked in the direction of my finger, her face showing difficulty. "Rocky, this shirt isn't suitable for you. Look if there's anything else you like." I smiled, "But I just like this one. This limited edition shirt is sold out, and I've already told Tony Tony, it wouldn't be good to give it to you, would it? Why not? Seeing my unreasonableness, Hailey's face was full of impatience. Tony is handsome and tall. This shirt would be more valuable on him, wouldn't it? Look at you. Even though I already knew the situation, her cutting words were still like knives and spears, tearing at my heart with every syllable. The way she blamed me in front of everyone was completely different from how she used to stand in front of me and retort everything. I became increasingly silent. When we were together, everyone didn't understand and targeted me. They said I was a toad, that I threatened her, that I wasn't worthy. Every time I heard these words, Hailey was always more agitated and more defensive than I. The person directly involved, protecting me. She would tell me I was good, and others were just jealous of my good grades, jealous that I had her. The people who love each other the most know what words sting the most. I didn't care what others said, but now it was my only son speaking. Seeing my eyes redden slightly, my hands tightly clenched into fists, Hailey gradually stopped accusing me. Her face was full of bewilderment, and she explained weakly, Rocky, you know, I didn't mean it that way. If you like this one, then this one is for you. I'll tell Tony. As soon as she finished speaking, Tony coincidentally appeared at the shop entrance. Beside him stood an exotic foreign beauty. Even Hailey, who had been the campus queen since childhood, was instantly overshadowed. Hailey was visibly uneasy. Hailey, I just happened to be passing by to pick up the clothes you specially bought for me. Tony deliberately drew out the word specially to show off. Sorry. Hailey gave it to me. Looking at Tony's happy expression, my male ego compelled me to try and win this round. Huh? Hailey, is that true? Yes. Before Hailey could explain, Tony took the woman's hand and left, leaving only a simple, okay. And I coldly watched Hailey, who was now looking nervous, counting silently in my heart. 3, 2, how ridiculous. Before I could even count to 3 seconds, Hailey frantically ran in the direction Tony had left, and without looking back, she said, it's all your fault. Suddenly, only I was left in the store. I handed the shopping bag that had fallen on the floor to the sales assistant. Hello, can I return this? The sales assistant was a young man who had heard everything that had just happened. He was silent for a few seconds, then said comfortingly, Buddy, you're so tall. Wearing this shirt would make you look like a supermodel. If you really want to return it, then we'll process the refund for you here. You see, even strangers would consider others' feelings, but my girlfriend wouldn't, because her heart only held Tony. No need. Thank you. The money was refunded to my account. I planned to change my flight ticket to tonight, but my luggage was still at Hailey's house. Since I didn't have a key, I had no choice but to call Hailey. Beep, 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 3 times and then 3 more. No one answered. From when did Hailey start refusing to talk on the phone with me? Until my phone battery was at 7%, and the sky gradually darkened. Hailey's call finally came in. It was very noisy on her end. It seemed like a party. Sorry, Rocky, I'm busy right now. You can go home and eat something by yourself first. I don't have the key. There was a long silence on the other end of the phone, and then she said stiffly, then I'll send you an address. You can come over and pick up the key. After that, she hung up the phone. I took a taxi to someone's house and knocked on the door. The woman who had appeared in the afternoon let me in. As soon as I entered, I saw colorful streamers and lights flashing, and the shouting was deafening. I walked up to Hailey, who was sitting on the sofa, and reached out for the key. A few people next to her scrutinized me. They jokingly scoffed. Oh, Sister May, not living with our handsome Tony anymore? Who's this ugly guy? Yeah, he's so disgusting, so ugly. Hailey didn't refute them for me, but reluctantly said, don't talk nonsense. This is my boyfriend from back home. At this, everyone's faces showed awkwardness. The once lively room suddenly became silent. After a long time, a woman sitting next to Hailey scrutinized me, speaking in their native language. Hailey, what's your taste like? He's not even half as handsome as Tony. He's so ugly. If it weren't for Hailey, with our looks-only group, how could this ugly guy get in? Break up quickly and get together with Tony. Hailey thought I didn't understand. She just remained silent. But to be better with you, I had self-studied the language for a long time, only for it to be used to attack myself in the end. We broke up. You and handsome Tony can be together now. I interrupted their harsh words. I took the key Hailey had placed on the table and turned to leave. The moment the door closed, Hailey didn't even retort a single word for me, but let their words become increasingly nasty. Back at the apartment, just as I was about to hail a taxi to the airport, my senior brother called me. You said you were going to the UK. Are you still there? Yes, but I'm planning to go back. My advisor said there's a collaborative project with Cambridge University for an exchange, but I have something going on, so I can't go. My advisor told me to ask you to go. The expenses will be reimbursed. I paused. Cambridge University? That was Hailey's school. My senior brother, hearing the wrong tone in my voice, asked in confusion, is it inconvenient for you? No. That's good then. You have a senior sister who's working in the UK now. If you have any inconveniences, just ask her. I've already told her. The moment I hung up the phone, a friend request popped up. Hello, I'm your senior sister, Serena. After accepting the friend request, I briefly explained my situation to her, and she arranged a place for me to stay. This place is close to Cambridge University, and it's not in the suburbs, so transportation is very convenient. You can stay there first. Where are you? I'll drive over and show you around. I politely replied to my senior sister. Okay. I stood at the main entrance of the apartment with my luggage, waiting for my senior sister to arrive, and a silent Hailey also rushed over. Her previously annoyed expression immediately turned into a subtle anger when she saw me with my luggage. What are you stirring up again? You've only been here for a few days, and you've caused so much trouble already. I was too lazy to argue with her anymore. Nothing. We're breaking up. Can't you be more magnanimous? My friends were just joking around. Do you have to embarrass me in front of them? Tony wouldn't be so petty. I clenched my fists, realizing that it wasn't just the weather that was cold, but also her piercing words. Feeling helpless for a moment, I stared at her familiar yet strange face. My heart felt bitter as I said, Hailey, you weren't like this before. I'm tired. Oh, alright, then go tell my parents. She blurted out what was on her mind without thinking, following her lead. I took out my phone from my pocket, preparing to call her parents, who already didn't like me. Are you really sure? Who else would love you like this if you leave me? Seeing that I didn't seem to be joking, Hailey panicked. Do you still remember what you promised me back then? Hailey didn't speak. Never mind. It's normal not to remember. After all, it was just a single sentence. We had been together for a long time. So long that memories began to blur. So long that we could forget our initial promises. So, that's probably why Hailey fell in love with someone else. Tears welled up in my eyes, and a car came into view. From behind Hailey, Tony arrived, breathing heavily. Hailey, why did you leave? I brought your jacket. Looking at their intimate gestures, I felt an unprecedented sense of disgust. You two disgust me. Tony suddenly faced me, bending at the waist. If it's because of me that you and Hailey are having problems, I apologize, but please don't treat her like this. She'll be very upset. See, every word was considerate of Hailey. This made me seem like a petty person throwing a tantrum. Hailey couldn't bear to see Tony in such a humble posture. She immediately shielded Tony behind her, just as she used to shield me. Tony, you're not wrong. He is. There's nothing going on between us. But Hailey, Brother Rocky just arrived not long ago. Why would he suddenly be like this? The only thing I can think of is, did he look at your phone? Tony's aggrieved words fell into Hailey's ears. Instantly, her eyes turned cold. Looking at me, it was self-evident. Yes. I looked. It was very interesting. Hailey, having received confirmation, seemed to gain more confidence to curse at me. Rocky, is this how you respect me? Peeking at my phone casually. And you also know that Tony and I are innocent. Why do you still slander us? The pent-up emotions burst at this moment. Veins bulged, as I tried my best to keep from lashing out. When you abandoned me last night to stay in Tony's room for 3 hours, what did I say? Hailey, who was in the wrong and biased, retorted guiltily. So you're that perverted? I said, it's because Tony has sleepwalking, and I was worried. That's why I stayed so long. Rocky, look at yourself now. Sensitive, unreasonable, feeling that everyone looks down on you. But Tony, he can get along with anyone. He's cheerful and interesting. What dog is barking? A sports car stopped abruptly in front of us. Hailey immediately pulled Tony aside, ready to go confront the car owner. The next second, the car door opened. A woman with a full figure and beautiful face stepped out. Upon seeing the woman's face clearly, Tony subtly distanced himself a little from Hailey. The woman walked past the two of them, came up to me, and extended her hand. She said generously, Rocky, I'm your senior sister, Serena. I shook her hand in return. Hello, senior sister. Get in the car. As we passed Hailey, my senior sister seemed to be getting revenge for me, splashing the coffee in her hand onto Hailey's feet. I looked at Hailey's constipated expression and found it a little amusing. Once in the car, I whispered, thank you, senior sister. Serena waved her hand. No problem at all. If you ask me, when a dog barks, you should still act. Okay, but I've been insecure and timid since childhood. It's ingrained in my bones. How could it change so easily? Seeing my silence, my senior sister teased again. Never mind, never mind. Your senior brother told me not to corrupt you. Just don't let others bully you. Okay, your senior brother should have sent you the materials already. Prepare well these few days. You'll be giving a presentation at Cambridge University then. You might also need to exchange ideas with the Cambridge University project team. I nodded and agreed. In the following days, I focused on writing the report. Hailey's brother called me. My sister told me, are you breaking up with her? You know, she gets along with everyone. Maybe she just didn't pay attention to boundaries. Please be more understanding. Hailey definitely still likes you. You two worked so hard to get together. Don't give up so easily. I lowered my gaze, staring at the white paper stained with ink from the pen. Brother, a stained paper can be restored, but a stained heart cannot. After saying that, I hung up the phone. Within a minute, Hailey's first call in days came in. Are you sick? What did you tell my brother? What does Tony have to do with our business? Before she could finish, for the first time ever, I actively hung up on her, and I blocked all her contact information. After the project is completed, I will go back, and perhaps never set foot on this land that makes me sad again. The night before going to Cambridge University, Serena sent over several cooperation proposals from the Cambridge University team. At the top was the one from Hailey and Tony's team. It was the project proposal that Hailey had been rejecting my video calls for every day. I picked it up and read it carefully. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. So, the project proposal she claimed would take a lot of time to calculate and consider. Was just this childish? The lecture hall was packed. I followed the Cambridge University representative, preparing the procedures backstage. I saw Hailey and Tony standing on the other side, getting ready to copy their materials. When she saw me, Hailey immediately let go of Tony's hand, which she had been holding. I didn't want to see her hesitant expression. I walked around her and went to the machine to copy my own materials. On the other side, Hailey was coaxing Tony, who had suddenly let go of her hand and was upset. Feeling annoyed, I went out to the balcony to get some fresh air. Serena followed me, leaning on the railing. "Oh, junior brother, aren't you going to stir things up?" I ignored her and asked about a doubt I had had since last night. Their project proposal was so bad. How did they convince the teachers to approve it? Serena shook her head. "I don't know either. I wasn't involved in that project." The lecture began. I went on stage and gave a brief self-introduction. Hailey sat in the first row, and when she saw that I was the speaker, she looked shocked. "Rocky?" The teacher next to Hailey looked at her like that and said happily, "You know this person? He's very capable, and a top teacher in this field even took him as a personal student. If you want to win awards in this field, you can communicate more with him. Moreover, this boy clearly has good character. It's just a shame that some good girl hasn't snatched him up yet." A girl from Hailey's team said sarcastically, "Yeah, that girl really had no eyes to dump such an excellent guy." The teacher was a little surprised and regretful. "Ah, that's too bad. If you had this person working on the project with you, winning an award would basically be no problem." Hailey's face was flushed with embarrassment, and she stared at me for a long time. I pretended not to see her and continued to present our team's project proposal clearly and logically. The applause from the audience was deafening. Truly, talent emerges from generation to generation. Old Zhang has a successor, and seeing him today, he's indeed excellent. Amidst the praise, I took a seat among the judges. Soon, it was Hailey's group's turn to present their project. Unexpectedly, all three of them were worse than the last. Their report lacked basis, their data was incorrect, and even the most basic things in their PowerPoint presentation were wrong. I listened to the entire process with a frown. Tony stood on the stage, saying nothing. The audience below gradually began to murmur. "Isn't that Tony? I heard he's cheerful and capable. Today he's like this. It's unbearable to watch. He probably just uses little tricks usually, and word gets around that he's capable." The critique session began. I took the microphone that was passed to me in turn and gave my critique as fairly as possible, leaving aside the difficult parts. Even the most basic calculations were wrong. Is this perfunctory or faked ability? And the explanations were also a mess. The presentation didn't incorporate their own understanding. There were too many problems. You still need more practice. Compared to Tony, who had always protected Hailey before, he now hung his head in silence when their flaws were exposed. As the other judges continued to comment, Serena came up behind me, gossiping. "I just want to ask my friend about this Tony. I heard this guy, relying on his good looks, is juggling several relationships. This Tony hooked up with several female team leaders to get project credits. Hailey was probably deceived too. Yes, he also hooked up with a female teacher from University B before, and was being kept by her. He relies on his sunny looks and considerate personality." Seeing that I didn't speak, Serena thought I was very interested and continued to babble. "If you ask me, he's no match for you. Junior brother, you're truly capable. Senior sister, you're too noisy." Serena seemed hurt and pretended to clutch her chest in discomfort. "Junior brother, you're actually criticizing me now." The report ended, and I was ready to go home. Hailey rushed over, her once delicate makeup now smudged. "Rocky, wait for me." I looked at her unfamiliar. "What is it?" She paused, stunned by my unprecedented coldness towards her. "Are you still angry?" I shook my head. Seeing me shake my head, Hailey immediately cheered up and tried to come over and intimately link arms with me like before. "I realized I still like you the most. Tony is nowhere near as good to me as you are. Can we start over?" I dodged her and said, "No." Hailey looked at me dodging and then at Serena next to me. She sneered. "I wondered why you were always throwing tantrums at me here. So you already had other women, huh? Were you pretending to look for me, but actually looking for this woman? You're disgusting." Rocky, as the old saying goes, ugly people cause more trouble. Amidst Hailey's harsh words, Serena slapped Hailey. Not long after, the husband of the female teacher who was keeping Tony came to the school. In front of all the teachers and students, he threw out all the evidence. One transfer record after another, one bed photo after another, all proving their immoral lifestyle. Tony, who had shed his usual sunny demeanor, knelt on the ground, crying and begging for forgiveness. Unfortunately, who could save him now that he was already ruined? Eventually, amidst everyone's discussions, he dropped out of school. At the same time, Hailey and her team's substandard project was also revoked by Cambridge University. Everything about them was exposed, causing a huge stir in the study abroad circles. And even online, Hailey couldn't bear it and also dropped out to return to her home country. The day she returned, Hailey contacted me through a friend's phone. Meeting again, her once beautiful face had lost its original luster. "Rocky, I remember what I said back then. I said I would be with you forever. Can you give me another chance? I promise. I'll definitely make it work. I'm still your son, right? Unfortunately, what has changed cannot be restored. Now I can have better emotions and a better life for myself. And I've left that unhappy original family. And there are no more caustic, petty people mocking me. I have become my own son. I am shining brightly in my own field. And everyone has started to respect me whenever they think of me. Words like capable, responsible, and excellent come to mind. Although I don't have a handsome appearance, I can still be charming and radiant." Looking at the rising sun, I smiled with relief. I shouldn't be insecure. Everyone has different strengths. There's no need to care about others' opinions. We are all the protagonists in our own worlds. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.